Question 4. The graph of the equation in two variables is the set of all solutions of the equation plotted on the coordinate plane. A. The graph appears to pass through the point 6, 90. Use your equation to verify this. Remember that the 6 represents your h, the 90 represents your distance or your d. So we're going to do 90 equals negative 60 times 6 plus 450. Negative 60 times 6 is negative 360. Negative 360 plus 450 is 90. Does 90 equal 90? Yes, so obviously it does pass through the point 4, 90. B. Generate 4 more ordered pair solutions to your equation by substituting 1, 5, 8, and 10 for h. Does each point appear on the graph showing Travis's distance from Dallas, and explain? Well, D equals negative 60 times 1 plus 450 is negative 60 plus 450, which equals 390. That ordered pair is 1, 390. D equals negative 60 times 5 plus 450, which equals negative 300 plus 450, which equals 150. So that ordered pair is 5, 150. D equals negative 60 times 8 plus 450. That's negative 480 plus 450 equals negative 30. That ordered pair would be 8, negative 30. Last, D equals negative 60 times 10 plus 450 equals negative 600 plus 450, which equals negative 150. This ordered pair would be 10, negative 150. Do these ordered pairs show up on that graph back in question number 1? 2 of them do. The other do not. And my question is, why? This one appears on the graph. This one appears on the graph. Why does this one and this one not appear? We have hours. We've got 8 hours and 10 hours. But it tells me that my distance is negative, which means I've technically passed Dallas. Do we want to keep driving after we made it to Dallas? No. Both 8 and 10 result in negative distance, which basically means we passed Dallas. C. Which of the solution points you generated in part B makes sense in this context? 1 and 390, and 5 and 150. Those both make sense in the context of this problem. D. Explain why only some points make sense in this context. You can't or won't drive after reaching Dallas. So distance will not be negative. Use what you know about the solution points and the graph to state a reasonable domain and range for this function in the given context. Domain are those hours. Well, we can travel between 0 hours and 7.5 hours. After that, we've already got to Dallas, so there's no reason to continue. Let's talk about our range. Range will be between 0 distance from Dallas up to 450 miles away from Dallas, because that's where we started. Use the graph to identify the 0 of the function. Now recall, 0 is where it crosses the x-axis. My 0 is the same thing as my x-intercept. 7.5 comma 0. So basically, at what point will my function equal 0? At 7.5. And this is where the equation equals 0. Make sure you get all this copied over, and then you'll have a debriefing on the next slide. After you finish your debriefing, please make sure to mark this presentation as done.